Hey there, this is Steph Stanford. I just want to thank you for listening in. This is a free sample of the Sell It Baby course that I'm going to be teaching soon. It's designed to help you see your own greatness and to rewrite your own story so that you can believe in you. The very first module of the course is called Take a Look at You, and it will help you expand your view of you. It'll help you begin to see your own potential. And you're going to be working on changing how you see yourself. So let's just get right into it. Let me ask you this. When is the last time you stopped to take a look at yourself? Well, Stephanie, hello, I do that every day. What kind of question is that? I look at myself when I first get up, when I am brushing my teeth, and even when I run out the door before work. I sneak a quick little peek in the mirror. I got to make sure I'm keeping it all tight and everything looks all right. I know you do, because I do the same thing. You look at you all the time, but that's not what I asked you. I asked, when is the last time you stopped to take a look at yourself, who you truly are, what good you're sharing every single day? I asked you, when is the last time you stopped to see what makes you beautiful on the outside and on the inside? And when is the last time you stopped and said, why am I here? And what am I doing to make this world a better place? Those are some big questions, aren't they? Well, let me start with a little story. Back in 1986, woo, some of you might not have been alive, but back in 1986, I was just starting out. I was just going to be finishing high school soon. I had a boyfriend who, by the way, nobody in my family liked, but I knew where I was going. I was going to college soon. I would become a psychologist and I would make lots of money, and together, me and my boyfriend, who nobody liked, probably for a good reason, would survive on love and have lots of money. Well, that was my dream. The reality was far different. My reality was that he was very controlling, telling me what he did and did not want me to wear, and even making me wear my hair up to school so that other guys wouldn't look at me. The reality was that he didn't mind if I went to college, but when I got there, I would choose to drop out rather than take a chance at losing him. Fast forward to the early 90s. I dropped that zero, honey, and I got with a hero. Well, kind of. See, I met a wonderful man in college. He was hardworking and charming and fun, and he had high aspirations and a plan to get there. We enjoyed each other, and he showed no signs of being like that other guy in any way. And yet, we just couldn't keep it together. Why? Well, work was more important to him than I was, and he just couldn't keep me long if he didn't pay attention to me. So things didn't work out. Then the 2000s. I was in a new state, having a new life. I had a new plan. I would do it on my own. I would get my second degree, work for me, and I would make things work. Only they didn't. Not the way I thought. See, my life was shattered when I left a cushy job to start my own business, and wah wah, it failed. But listen, all of these experiences have made me who I am. They may have been difficult, and at times I certainly did wish that I just didn't have to go through them. But listen, there's magic in there. The magic is this: if I take a look at each of those circumstances, I see things I've learned that made me who I am today. I see growth that happened, and it changed me so that I could make different choices later. I see a woman who has learned life lessons, and honey, I came out stronger, faster, better, more informed, self-reliant. There's magic in there, in those obstacles that you've overcome. There's true magic in stopping to take a look at who you are, often as a result of what you've overcome. So what's the lesson here? What am I trying to teach you? I'm teaching you that every day you get up, you work, you go to school, you take care of yourself, your kids, other people, and yet you are walking right past this person who you've become as a result of your resilience and your ability to change and to grow. You're not looking at the whole you. So here's what I want you to do today. Today, I want you to stop and notice how fantastic you've become as a result of overcoming those hardships. Listen, you don't have to focus long on what you went through. We don't have to relive all that. Instead, we're going to take a look at who you have become, and then how you might use some of that good stuff to make someone else's life a little bit better. So here's an exercise. I want you to do it. First, pick just one obstacle that you have overcome in your lifetime. Now, it doesn't have to be some huge drama. It could just be a fight that you had with your little brother when you were 8 over a big wheel. Or maybe it's how you learned to cook. Or maybe it was a big thing, like learning to make it in a completely different industry after getting fired from your job. But just pick something that you've overcome. That's step 1. Okay, step 2. Now ask yourself this question, and I want you to write down the very first 3 things that pop into your head. Don't worry about if they make sense. Write down the first 3 things that pop in your head. Here's the question. What did I learn from that situation? What did I learn from that situation? Write it down. All right. Now, I want you to write another question. How have I become better as a result? Remember, you're writing down the first thing that pops in your head. Don't judge it. Don't think this is crazy. Don't think that's crap. Don't think anything about it. Don't think. Listen to the question and write down what pops in your head. How have I become better as a result? Write that down. You're probably still writing. In the actual course, will take a little time. But right now, I want to tell you these things that you have just written down and that have popped into your mind are something that should go in your success journal, because these are the things you focus on when you're having a bad day. They remind you how far you've come, how strong you had to be, and they help give you strength as you go through things, even in this time, because you're reminded that if you made it through those things, then honey, you're going to be okay. You can make it through these things. Do you know in advertising they say that people don't even make a purchase until they've seen your ad or heard your story as much as 17 times? That's crazy. So you're going to need to start focusing on how very strong you've become and what a superhero you are. You're going to need to remind yourself over and over of how great you are so that you believe it. That's why the writing it down part really helps. And that leads us into part 2 of this exercise. This is the really fun one. I love this part. It's not going to feel like work. I want you to imagine that I work for Disney. That's right. You can see it, can't you? I'm fun. Anyway, imagine that I work for Disney and I have just come to ask your help. I need your help to create a new cartoon character. This is going to be for an adult cartoon, and it's going to appeal to people that are just like you. They're your age, your race, your religion. They grew up the way you did. So Disney is looking for people like you. So they're going to create this cartoon, and they need your help. They want you to create this brand new superhero, and you're going to do it in your own image. So let's go on and do that together. This is where we start. You start by answering who the superhero helps. Okay, let me say it again. You start with who the superhero gets to help. Is it just anybody in distress? Or does the superhero have a soft spot for rescuing puppies maybe that aren't treated right? Or maybe the superhero cares about kids who are hungry, or dads who don't get to see their kids. I want you to be creative. You don't have to be traditional like Superman. You don't have to fight crime. If you were a superhero, who would you help? And describe this group. Heck, it doesn't even have to be a person or an animal. It could be that you rescue the sea from people who would be polluters. Or maybe you help plants grow more quickly without pesticides. Listen, you could be Captain Science, honey. Superheroes can be anything. You're going to be creative and describe who your superhero helps. Hmm. I know you're getting into it. You have just experienced a sneak peek into Sell It Baby. This course, I want you to know, it came from me taking a look at myself. I know who I want to help and what I want to do to help them. I want to help you learn how to see how absolutely strong and incredible and resilient and beautiful you are on the inside and on the out. My goal is to help you actually identify the best in you and then help you sell that to the world. That part comes later, but this is just a sneak peek into the very first week of Sell It Baby. If you enjoyed this and you want more, you can sign up for Sell It Baby on my website, stephstanford.com, and just click Sell It Baby. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this, but more important, I hope you use it. If you haven't done this, stop and take a look at who you really are. The greatness in there might just surprise you. You can contact me if you have questions. My email is stephstanford@gmail.com. Or you can find me on Facebook at Stephanie Stanford. So, again, thanks for listening in to the very first sneak peek of Sell It Baby. This was the first module. Take a look at you. There's so much more. We can't possibly cover it in just 5 minutes. I hope you'll take a chance on yourself and sign up for Sell It Baby. Thank you.